Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Mizarais bin Zehan, and now I will be presenting our product for this final year project, which is tennis ball picker. So this is our group members, consist of 3 people. So the first part is introduction. Next is product background. So people who often face this problem are usually tennis ball pickers or tennis players, especially when they are training alone. Those customers that use this tennis ball picker does not need to bend over to pick the balls because this product will help them to pick up the balls. So after the existence of the products, players no longer have to collect the tennis balls in the old and burdensome way every time they play tennis. So the problem statement that we need to solve for the people that do not use the product is it can cause back pain and waste more time to clean up after the training. So people after the training who didn't use this product may take some time to pick up all the tennis balls alone. The objectives of this project are to identify target customer problems, needs, and design requirements for the tennis ball picker. Next, to design and develop a prototype of the tennis ball picker. And the last one is to analyze prototype performance, prototype structure, component functionality, and development costing. The next one is design scope. The scope and mission of this project and users are people involved in tennis training and require a tennis ball picker to facilitate during that session. This product is non-ethical and tennis ball picker can save time and energy for users. The shape of the tennis ball picker is equipped with 4 wheels, a rectangular basket turner, a handle, and a fan wheel. For the size of product, you can see at this point, which is the estimated product size for this product is roller length is 46 cm and so on.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Taufiqul Hakim bin Muhammad. Number matric AA200467. Today I will present about the literature review for chapter 2. For the introduction, it is about to examine a variety of sources pertaining to design and development of a tennis ball picker. It begins by gaining a true understanding of the evolution of tennis ball picker method, as well as reviewing product specification, structure design, working principles, performance achievement, selling price, and the other criteria. Okay, next for the technology solution. Some of them use the remote control to pick up the ball, and some of them use Bluetooth. However, the manual type of the tennis ball picker still developed from time to time, which is from not using any wheels to having wheels and having a container to pick up all the balls. A commercial solution, we can see the tennis ball picker upper ball tube 16, which is priced about 23 ringgit. Brand Boao. Okay, next for the multi mover tennis ball cart, which priced about 828 ringgit. Brand by Display Art, weight about 16.7 kg. Next for the Yuma 2-in-1 ball picker upper for tennis, which the price is about 59 ringgit and 50 cents, which brand from Yuma, and the weight about 2.4 kg. Next for the tennis ball picker, which is tennis ball collector, which the price is about 102 ringgit and 82 cents, which produced by the Comfort or customized, which the weight is 1.89 kg.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Shafiq Mambatman. My number matric is AA200959. So I would like to tell about the introduction of chapter 3, that is methodology. This chapter provides an overview of the research method that have been followed in the study. It provides information on the project methodology. starting with a design formulation followed by a concept design, then a product architecture and configuration design. Then during the pragmatic design stage, part measurement and product assembly draft were generated using SolidWorks software. The project methodology ends with the detailed design stage. Next, the researcher explains about the tools and equipment as well as the reason for their selection. The instruments used to collect the data are also discussed. Researcher also discuss the methods used to analyze the data. Finally, the issue of development cost following in this process is also discussed. That's all. Okay, I would like to tell about the project methodology. Project methodology tells about the progress of the journey to produce a product. The flowchart in the diagram on the side shows the whole process in implementing the project. So, starting with identify the problem, we can collect and analyze all data. After we collect and analyze all data, we can make a solution to make improvement to some projects. So then we defining the model concept. After we defining the model concept, we draw an initial sketch of the project design. If the project design according to the design requirement, we follow to finally sketch the design. Then we make a best criteria decision like cost, material and safety. So lastly, we can test and can get the result. So the project is finished after that. Tools and equipment also need in this project. The first is angle grinders. The function is to cutting sheets and grinding the surface of the metal to get smooth surface. Then for removing excess material from a piece. The second is MIG welding machine. It is to combine materials, usually metals, by using high heat to melt the parts together. The number 3 is a cut-off machine. It is to cutting hard materials such as metal tubes, concrete, and others. Okay, number 4 is a hand drill machine. It is to use to drill holes or secure two objects together. Okay, number 5 is file tools. It is to remove any roughness on the surface of the project to give a smooth surface and shape the objects. Okay, lastly is a nut and screw. It is to tie several parts together. Okay, data collection method is a process of collecting information from all the relevant sources to find answer to the research problems, test the hypothesis, and evaluate the outcomes. Data collection methods can be divided into two categories. That is secondary methods of data collection and primary methods of data collection. It is also the first and the most important step. We can also use online shopping website that will be the medium to collect the data for the market review and comparison between the products. In addition, relate the project, the information of average age of the tennis player around the world is collected by background research. The validity of this data will measured by the older age group in any tennis competition. So for data analysis method, we can use a familiar rotational and circular motion to calculate the distance traveled. From the formula, we can see that omega is angular velocity, alpha is angular acceleration, amount of t is a time interval, and delta is angular displacement. So the distance can be calculated by using the value of the arc length in tire. Once the tire is rolling, the angular displacement and the velocity will be changing every time, and it will be calculated from this formula. So for example, we can see that the tennis ball picker that holds 100 tennis ball will pick up an average rate of 24 balls every 29 seconds. Therefore, the total amount of the time for this product to pick up all the 50 to 150 balls using this calculate. As a result, using a current technology, it is estimated that the player will spend 35% of his or her total time to collecting the tennis ball, not including training. This takes up a significant amount of time and should be reduced to accurate similar to tennis match.
This chapter describes in detail the results of the methodology used as well as the result of this project upon completion. All data obtained were analyzed based on scientific and engineering principles. For design formulation process begins with establishing clear objectives and customer requirements through problem definition and need assessment. Improper problem may lead into an inefficient problem solution and waste the time and effort during project implementation. So next is the problem definition. So most of the people spend a lot of time in training sessions, and it is including the time for cleaning the court. It is because of the number of balls that have been used for their entire training session. In addition, the probability for people from suffer from back pain is increased without the use of this product. The observation method has been used to collect the data for the average age of the tennis player. The measurement for this data is the probability of the player will suffer from back pain. People tend to practice alone at the court, and they used to spend more time cleaning their stuff, including collecting the balls. There have been many products that give new alternatives to solve the problem. So next is the relevance and significance. I will give you an example. If people wasting their time to collect the tennis ball, the quality of the training decreases and the probability of them to experiencing back pain is high. So the effect of that is the skill cannot develop higher than before, and their performance will drop at the competition. So if you look at the pie chart, so the most group age of people that play tennis is from 30 to 39 years, and the least is from 13 to 19 years.
Okay, then all the information are organized in design objective tree. This diagrammatic figure help clarify design objective in order to fulfill customer requirement in clear and concise methods. Below is a design objective tree for this project. So we can see that design and tennis ball picker. The features on this design is has a large capacity of tennis balls, and it also has a removable containers. Then for safety, it does not hurt and not dangerous for children. So for convenience, it's easy to keep, and it also can collect tennis ball in large numbers. And lastly, is using mechanical concept. For quality, this design, it is a stainless, heat resistant, and not easily crushed. So for economical, is affordable and does not use electricity and is eco-friendly.
So next part is product component decomposition. Product component decomposition is a method by creating block diagrams of sub-assemblies that make up a product. This activity is used to roughly explain the hierarchical structure of component shapes and provide a general understanding of the interaction of individual components with each other. Information gathered from the literature and market research used during this stage. Below is the product component decomposition for tennis ball picker. So for tennis ball picker, it has 4 parts, which is for body, transmission, picking mechanism, and steer mechanism. For body, it has frame, tires, rims, and frame cover. And transmission, it has gear and manual. So picking mechanism, it has tube and lead. And for steer mechanism, it has stick and handlebar.
Okay, so for alternative concept evaluation and selection, once several concepts have been generated, it is necessary to choose the most suitable concept to fulfill the requirements set out in the product design specification. Firstly, some of these alternatives will be dropped if it does not satisfy the customer demands or not feasible to be manufactured. So figure below shows the conceptual sketch for the rest of the alternative as possible candidates. So after this, we can see that is figure 1, the total is 28, then figure 2 is 27, figure 3 is 30, and figure 4 is 28. So we can see in this table, figure 3 is the most total. So we choose figure 3 as a final sketch design. That's all.
Okay, for the product assembly, the first stage of parametric design is part sizing and product assembly drafting. This process conducted in order to visualize latest configuration of product assembly and its component. All parts will be preliminarily identified, its size, and drafted using SolidWorks software. General product size and simple BOM should be notified in this drawing. In the drafted drawing, figure below represent drawing sample of product assembly drive, which in the figure 4.3, which is a product assembly draft stage. We can see the top view, the front view, and the side view, and the prototype of the product. Okay, next is the material selections. During conceptual and configuration design, it is not necessary to choose specific material. Only some general assumptions are made based on basic properties and general usage. Selection of specific material for each special purpose part was conducted as product design developed during parametric design phase. For the parts and material for the handle, we will choose the material from made of steel and rubber foam material. For the grip and sleeve cover, the long bar handle. For the body collecting box, we will use high density polyethylene, which is HDPE. We choose HDPE because it has high impact resistance and durability against element, more flexible, more durable, and resistant to stress. For the body frame, we use the material made of steel. For the wheel, we use elastic rubber to make sure that the wheel can move easily. And for the rail is steel plate. Okay, next is the selection for components manufacturing. Method selection needs to be done before prototype is constructed. Early planning can avoid wrong approach and time wasting. We need to prepare the planning table listing manufacturing method for sub-assembly and each component in it. We can see the table 4.4 which show the component manufacturing method which have sub-assembly, sub-component, base type material, and manufacturing method. For the body A, we will use fabrication for the welding, which is handle. We will use the hollow mill steel, which we can buy it online. And for the body frame, we will use solid mill steel. We just need to do the cutting and the welding process. For the body B, which is assembly, non-permanent joint, which is rail, tire, and collecting box. For the rail, we use steel plate. For the tire, elastic rubber, and the collecting box is polyethylene, which is HDPE. For the rail, we just have to do the cutting and drilling. For the tire, we just buy it online, and for the collecting box, buy it from the hardware.